All right, so this is the Lynx Whiteboard for Clevertouch training. I'm going to actually stop showing this presentation and go to a different. I'm actually going to pull up my Lynx. Share. And I am going to share my entire screen today because I have a lot of different windows to show y'all. Make sure that it is. Okay, so this is our presentation today. So our agenda today will be going through how to download Lynx on your computer, the tools inside Lynx, Lynx activities, and then what's coming up. So the first step is downloading Lynx. If you don't know what Lynx is, on our Clevertouch boards, there is if you have the old Clevertouches, you might still have the regular whiteboard, but you also have this whiteboard. And this one is a bit more interactive, and this one can also be downloaded on your actual desktop computer. So to download it to your desktop computer, you would open up a tab and go to lynxcloud.app. You would then click on more downloads. And then from here, you would do Lynx Whiteboard and click download for your Windows computer. Once you have downloaded it, you can then open it. Let me get to the home screen. And this is what it looks like. You can also sign into it. We do not have the pro version, but there is still a lot you can do on just the regular basic free version, and that is what I'm actually going to talk to you about today. So I showed you, I had a presentation in this whiteboard in Lynx. Let me show you how I actually did that. So I created it in Canva, and then I downloaded it and saved it to my Google Drive. So I just shared, download, and then I just did PDF standard. So now I'm going to come back over here and I am going to open this up. And sometimes it will be weird. Well, it's worked for me all day and now it's not working. Is this how it always happens? Let me close out of Lynx. I really have been on this all day and it has worked for me all day long. I am going to ignore this update. And I'm going to, okay, failed to download, darn it. And sometimes you have to reconnect your Google Drive. So I'm just going to click here and link Drive. What it's going to do is pull up the web version of it. And I'm just going to sign into it that way. Relink. This is a great troubleshooting opportunity for everybody that's watching this. Okay, so it does look like my Google Drive is now reconnected. I'm going to go back down here and open up my Lynx Whiteboard. Click on my Google Drive. Click on my 25-26 school year. And this is the one that I want. Yay! Sorry it took so long. So this is the same presentation that I did in Canva. It's just now on the whiteboard. So if and I'll show you how to do it in the Clevertouch as well. I'm just doing it on the web version for this training today, but I'm able to go to the next page. So we just did how to download it and sign in with Google. And now I'm going to go over the tools inside Lynx. So Lynx itself is just an interactive whiteboard. Um, why does that not surprise me? Gail, we might have to look into this a little bit more. I think in the past it should have just let you download it. Um, but if you give us your room number and where you're located, we can come by and see if we can get it downloaded for you. Because you should be able to download it on your desktop computer or even on your laptop. Okay, are you all right with us coming by tomorrow? Okay. All right, so let's go over the tools within the Lynx whiteboard. So of course you're going to have your pens. I am, so I have mine on black. So I'm gonna write my name. And again, I'm just doing this with my mouse. And I have an eraser. I also have this other pen. And then I also have a highlighter. Again, if you wanted to, you could change the colors. You can also change um, the how big you want your pen to be. So I'm gonna just erase all of this. So that's just one. And then this little, oh, I still have this. So this little pointer finger is like your select tool. So I've done the pins. And so now I can do the text. So I'm going to change my color and make it bigger, bolder, centered, and so this also has text capacity. And then you can also do a fill, so that's your background. If you wanted to change your background, so I'm going to do none, and this is what it looks like. Um, and then there's a block highlighter. It is a more defined highlighter. It's a rectangle highlighter. And I can then go back and erase all of this as well. So those are all pretty basic. And those aren't the like, wow, why am I going to use this whiteboard? It's really this insert button right here. So if you go to this plus sign, you will see that you can insert a page. You can actually insert a file. So if I go to browse files, and I go to my Google Drive. I'm going to go to this year's, and I have just this PDF add and subtract fractions worksheet, and I can actually add this worksheet to my document. And because this worksheet has 4 pages, I'm actually able to go to the different pages. Just don't look at the answer key because this is just a file that I used as an example yesterday. So that's one of the cool features that's in Lynx. Another one is you can insert some shapes. These are your shape options. But if you actually go down here to content, this is where you're getting a lot of your more interactive items. So you can upload like YouTube videos. Let's see if it's going to allow me to do. Um, so I just put in math antics, which was I was a math teacher for a very long time. So I used to use math antics all the time. So I can pull in a YouTube video and I can play it right here. It says unable to, and it's just pulling it up in the browser. I'm sorry. And then, but if you go to this little file up here, you have a lot of different options. And so this is where it actually gets really fun. So I'm actually going to close this and I'm going to delete my worksheet and delete my video and my circle because I really want y'all to see everything that you can do. So the first thing that I'm going to touch on are backgrounds. So in this background, I have some Venn diagrams, some flow charts, but I also have lined papers. So I can just do these dots and I'll just drag and I have all of these dots. I can actually customize it if I only want it on one half of the presentation. And then I can also do lines. I can draw on this if I wanted to. If I am a music teacher, I also have some music lines that I could use, or if I'm an elementary teacher and I need my students to practice writing, I also have, let me, I can also have my students practice writing on this line paper. I also have a Venn diagram that I can pull up there. And then there are some different flows, charts, and then there's this strength, weakness, opportunities, threats that I can put up. And that's kind of what your background is. And there's also a to-do list in progress or done little table. Those are your backgrounds. But then I also have this culture, which is just really music. So it gives you kind of some symbols in there. And there are some musical notations. And there are some more flowcharts. And there's geography. Let's see, physical. There is a lot of stuff already here. There is some history. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to do tools so that you can see. And then there's maths. And as a math teacher, I love seeing any kind of math. There is a calculator, or there's a calendar. I thought that was a calculator. I'm sorry. There's timers. There's dice that I can actually roll. So, for example, I'm gonna bring it down to one dice, and and I can keep rolling. So if I didn't have a die, I could do that. There's also a compass. So I'm gonna do a 10 centimeter radius circle. Let me actually move this down, and I can draw, oh, I can draw a perfect circle where my students can find the circumference and all of that and the area. There's also a ruler. And then there are some backgrounds. So those are, again, your lined papers. So you have your standard graph paper. But what I really love for math teachers are these counters. Um, so I'm going to pull up the largest one. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and they are all grouped together right now, but I can ungroup them. It says ungroup these items. And so now they're all individual counters. So for a math teacher, this is really great because your students can get up on the board before you give them manipulatives to practice with, and you can actually watch them practice with these manipulatives. So I always love this kind of thing. And then I'm just going to delete it. And then I'm going to go back home. I also have some science. There is, you can, there is this, is this the periodic table? I did not pay attention a lot in science. So you also have your periodic table. And there's biology, which you can see the human skull. There are some society ones. So I'm going to do food and drink. I'm going to do bacon because I am a bacon lover. And then there's sports. So if you are a football coach, this is really great because we know we have a Clevertouch in every classroom. If you needed to write up plays, you could do that on here and make it interactive. You could also do that with basketball. And you could also do that with baseball. And I guess you could do that with tennis too. I didn't know you could do that. And then there are some technology, which I just think it's just some pictures of tools and the content. There's nothing saved here, and pictures. Those are just your own pictures. So that's kind of like the bread and butter of the tools within Lynx. Are there any question on the tools and Lynx? Again, I'm just doing this from my desktop computer before I change over to Clevershare, and then I will actually pull up my links on my Clevertouch. This is just easier for the um, meeting purposes right now. Okay, so The next thing that I'm going to touch on is Lynx activities. So Lynx activities are interactive games that are web integrated. I, as a teacher, I love these activities because there are so many of them. There are fun ones, there are educational ones. So let's go. I'm going to actually pull up the Clevertouch. So just give me a second. See. Okay, so this is my Clevertouch. Instead of screen sharing, so that's when you share your screen from your computer to the Clevertouch, I'm doing it the opposite way. I am doing desktop sync. So the Clevertouch is now coming to my desktop. So I'm going to go over here to these arrows, go to apps, and there I have my Lynx Whiteboard. From here, oh, I have my Lynx activities. I think I am going to have to sign in. Retry. Let's sign in with Google, into iTech. Give me just a minute and let me sign on. So now it's just loading. Okay, so I have been able to sign in, and I'm just going to exit out of this. And I'm going to go to Links Activities. And it just pulls up a web page. Again, these activities are web-based. They are not within the actual board or the whiteboard itself. It's on the app side. And you can kind of see I've kind of been playing with this already today. So let's go through some of the activities that I can um, put on my board. So I'm going to go to Add Activities. Um, I want to do fun ones for right now. And let's do a spinner. And so within this spinner, I'm going to actually pull up this other one because I've already done it. I have a spinner with my name with our team's name. I did misspell Marissa's name. I'm sorry, Marissa. Um, Josh's, I did not put Alexandria's full name on here because I was having to type it on the Clevertouch and it was a little bit long. And so I'm going to spin it. And I got myself. But this is just a really great activity, especially if you're a teacher, if you just need to randomly select one of your students. So I'm going to go back to my menu and I'm going to exit activity. I'm going to add another activity. Mm, let's actually go back to fun. I just want to show you all the fun ones. Let's do a jigsaw puzzle. So this is Muscle Mania. It's going to give me a jigsaw puzzle, and it is pretty easy to do. Where's my other corner? And it's done. A little rabbit. So again, I'm going to go back to my menu, and I'm going to exit activity. Okay, so I've showed you some of the fun ones. There are some biology ones. So if you are a science, there's some color vision, gene expression, essentials, natural selection. I have no idea what these do, but if you are explaining these and you kind of need a simulation, I think these probably give you a decent enough simulation for that. Chemistry, I'm going to say the same thing. You have balloon and static electricity. You have Beer's Law Lab, gas properties, a pH scale. There are some custom ones, which I just have a timer. Again, we've done the fun ones. Maths. So I have some calculators. I have area builder, area model algebra, area model decimals. There's a lot of area models. Arithmetic, balancing act, build a fraction. I'm actually going to go to build a fraction. Again, a lot of these are simulations. So I'm going to build a fraction. So level 1, that's a 1/3. The second one is 1/2. This would just be great if I'm introducing fractions. So if I'm a bit of a lower grade level teacher, this would be great, especially introducing them so that they could have a visual and they could practice putting those numbers together. And these are made to do on your whiteboard. And there are quite a bit of math simulations that you could use. There's also memory. So these might be fun for your lower levels or if you just wanted to entertain your older students. So I'm going to do memory emojis. So I have a swimming one. I have not seen that one. This watch I have not seen. I have not seen this coin purse. I have not seen this one. I have not seen this one. I have seen this one, so I'll do seen. It will actually keep score. So this is just like a little game. And I should be able to customize any of these that I want, such as the name and the background. Mhm. So that was memory. I'm also going to touch on physics. Again, these are all simulations. So if you are introducing these in a lab or in your science classroom or your physics classroom, sorry, science teachers, you would be able to show these off. Then we have time. So we have a teaching clock, a clock, and tell the time. So I know a lot of younger students have difficulty reading these clocks, so I'm going to actually click on one and let's see what it tells us. So it says how many minutes left until 4 o'clock. So your students would be able to do 15, and it just kind of gives you more practice for what time is it. I'm going to do 11:30. This would be great for your practice for your littles that don't always understand this clock. And then there's actually this teaching clock. So this one, it kind of just um, gives you like past the hour. So like 5 past the hour, 10 past the hours, or 10 past the hour, quarter past the hour. And you can actually customize this where you could manipulate it to whatever you needed it to be. Again, this is just a teaching clock one. I know our littles some do have difficulties with this. And then we have words. So there are some word search and guess the word. And then we have world. If it allows me. So that's going to be your periodic table and some maps. So I want the map show to be game show, world continents, maximum number of questions. I'm just going to do 6 and save. And then it starts asking you, like, what continent is this? Australia. and then I'm gonna say Europe, Asia, South America, Antarctica, Africa. Yay! And you can let it get more detailed if you would like. Okay, I do not want to retry, I just want to go back. Hmm. So again, these are just some of the activities you can do. A lot of these activities are simulations. Um, are there any questions over links? I know I showed you a lot in a short time, but I wanted to give you an overview because Lynx is the default for the Clevertouches, and there is a lot more you can do on this whiteboard than you could do on our regular whiteboard. Okay, so today we have learned how to download the links to our computers, use links on the Clevertouch, and how to use links activities. So, if you would like to, you could fill out this form and give us some feedback. And I know coming up in March, we have a few trainings. I am giving one on my classes, which is a new tool within the Clevertouch. Josh is giving a training over what, Josh?
Can you hear me there? I forgot I had my microphone up. I'm going to be doing a kind of a cool custom chat bot for getting ready for Star. I don't want to give away too much.
So there are more trainings coming up next month. Be paying attention to talent and developments email that goes out every month because you will see those there. Thank you so much for joining us and have a great day. So there is a question. Can students collaborate on links? Is there a way for them to connect to any activities? Also, will there be a recording of this one? So I am recording this one. It will be uploaded to YouTube sometime tomorrow. As far as them being able to connect on the activities, I am going to say no. They can do it on the board with you watching, but they cannot do it on the web, as far as I know. Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions? If there are no more questions, have a great day. I am going to stop this recording now.